Off when we were talking about conic sections. So we reviewed how to graph parabolas, the ellipse equations, hyperbolas, right, and circles. So you all feel pretty confident about that? The homework went okay, I'm guessing, right? So sometimes we don't have things in like the standard form. So the standard form for the ellipse was when it was like equal to 1, hyperbola was equal to 1, right? Okay, so if that happens, then you should just complete the square. Okay, so what I always do to complete the square is I get all of my x's together, all of my y's together, and then the number on the other side. So I've kind of set it up a little bit for you because I have my x's right next to each other, and I have my y's right next to each other. But let's go ahead and subtract that 16 over. Now in this equation, do you guys notice like we have a 4x squared and a 4y squared? All of these numbers are actually divisible by 4, so why don't we just do that? Let's divide everything through by 4. So we're going to have x squared minus 4x, and then I'm going to leave a little space, or a little box if you want. And then I'm going to have plus y squared minus 6y plus a little box equals negative 4. And then you can do the two little boxes on this side too.
Why would you use negative 4?
Because I divided it by 4 as well, right? Negative 16 divided by 4 is negative 4.
Oh.
All right, so do you guys remember the little formula for completing the square?
Isn't it negative b over 2a?
Negative b over 2a finds the axis of symmetry for a parabola, but it's close to that. It was in the same chapter last year.
Yeah, well,
B over 2 squared. So I would say have it and square it. So we're going to take our number, our b value, so right here, we're going to have it and square it. So divide it by 2 and square it. What do we get? 4. So we get a 4 here. So remember, we're taking the b value divided by 2 squared. Okay, we do that because that creates what's called a perfect square. So if we were going to factor that now, I would factor into x minus 2 times itself. So x minus 2 squared. So sometimes people don't even have to do the b over 2, they kind of see it. Like, can you guys kind of see what the next one has to be in order to factor to get the negative 6 in the middle? Right, so if you have it and square it, yeah, you need a 9. And we're adding that to both sides of the equation. So we're keeping everything very balanced. So that one ends up being y minus 3 squared. Okay, and then it's all equal to the negative 4 plus 4 plus 9 is just 9. So now can you tell what shape this is?
Circle.
Yeah, it's a circle. So it's a circle, and it has the center of 2, 3, and a radius of 3. Okay, so you could sketch that out because you have all the information you would need. Okay, good. All right, so how do you think we could tell from the beginning that that was a circle? Look at your x squared and your y squared terms. Yeah, the numbers out front are the same. It's 4x squared and a 4y squared if there's a plus in between them, right? So it would be a circle in that case. Now these ones are different. We have 25x squared and then we have a minus 20y squared. What do we think when we have like an x squared and then a minus something? Yeah, so let's see if this one works out to be a hyperbola. All right, so again, you can see if you can like divide out by something. It's not really like a good number here. You could do 5 at least, but we'll go and leave it like it is. Okay, so we're going to get our x's together, our y's together, and a number on the other side. So we're just going to take that over, and it's going to be negative 320. All right, so what I'm going to do with the x's, instead of dividing everything through by 25, because I can't, because you see how the y has a 20, I'm going to pull out a common factor from just the x's. Actually, not even a common factor. I'm going to pull out the number that's in front of x squared. And I'm going to put a little blank there. Did you guys see what I did there? All right, I'm going to do the same thing for the y's. Give myself some room. So I'm going to pull out the negative 20 from the y's. So I'm going to have y squared minus 12y and then a little blank. Do you guys get that? Okay, now I complete the square on that part that's inside. So when I complete the square, what number is going to go there? 4. And what number goes here? Yeah, because you do negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. Squared gives you 36. So as I'm rewriting this, I have 25, and then I did x squared minus 4x plus 4. And I have minus 20, and I have y squared minus 12y plus 36. And then I have equals negative 320, but I have to keep the equation balanced. I've added a lot of stuff over there on the left-hand side of the equation. So if I had my little teeter-totter, it's heavy. I need to balance it out. Does that make sense? So what I really added was 25 times 4. I added 100. So I put plus 100. And what I added here, I didn't really add.
Oh, is this the little house thing?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I made a little house last year. Do you guys remember that? So what I added here was negative 20 times 36. So negative 720. Does that make sense? So what I did last year, that's Olivia's mentioning the house, I did negative 320 plus, and I would put that little square, but I'd say, oh, don't forget that we actually have another little number. We had 25 out front, and we had negative 20 out front, and I put those numbers in the top. So you can do that if you want to. So as we do this, we have 25, and we factor it into something squared. We have minus 20, and we factor it into something squared. And then we get a big negative number. Don't judge me, it's Friday. I can't do mental math. Friday afternoon, last period for me. All right, so I get x minus 2, and I have x plus, or no, y minus 6, right? When I factor. So we get that. And it's still not quite in our standard form. So we know it's probably going to be a hyperbola or an ellipse, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to divide. We want this to be a 1. We divide by negative 940. Divide by negative 940. Everywhere. So if I was simplifying the fraction 25 over negative 940, oh, this is a hard one. I didn't make these numbers very nice for you. I know that when I have the ellipse, I want it to be like, or a hyperbola, I want it to be x minus h squared over something, right? And then minus y minus k squared over something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, what's the best way to do this? I'm going to divide by 25 on both the top and the bottom here. So I'm dividing this one by 25, and I'm dividing this one by 25. I was hoping it would come out nice. I didn't give you nice numbers. I'm sorry. I tried. Yeah, so what do we get? It's gross. Negative 940 divided by 25. It's like negative 37.6, which I'm going to write like this. Negative 188 over 5. All right, and then the next one. So I'm going to do divide by 20, divide by 20. This one will be nicer. So the next one's over 47, right? But now there's a plus there. And then the last one's 1. Okay, so sorry about the first number. That was not nice of me. I should have done a better one. All right, so the very last step is there's this negative here. So I'm going to write the y part first. So I'm going to do y minus 6 squared over 47. And then I'm going to have minus x minus 2 squared over 88 over 5 equals 1. So what kind of hyperbola would it be? Would it be a vertical or horizontal? So would it go, yeah, would it go like this or would it go like this? So it would be vertical, okay, because it starts with the y. Does that make sense? All right, so let's try some other ones.
188 over 5?
Oh, did I forget my 1? Oh, I did, because I circled it and I lost it. 188 over 5, thank you. Which I guess you could write as 37.6 if I gave you a nasty one like that. I'll try to do better. It's hard making these problems. All right, so the next one.
It's an ellipsis.
It's a hyperbola.
Okay. And is it vertical?
Yeah, it's a vertical hyperbola. All right, so this next one, so we have our x's together, we have our y's together, we'll take our number to the other side. We pull out the 4, so we have x squared minus 2x plus a blank. We pull out the 25, so we have y squared plus, you guys know how many times 25 goes into 150? Think of quarters, yep, 6y. And then we get equals negative 129. All right, so what number is going to go in the first blank? 1, right? Because you're going to take the number, divide it by 2, and square it. So you're taking the negative 1 divided by 2 squared. What goes in the next blank? 9. What have I really added to both sides?
4
I think it's 225. Yeah, 225. So we're going to do plus 4 plus 225. So we're going to rewrite. So we're going to have 4, and then we're going to have x minus 1 squared plus 25, and then we're going to have y plus 3 squared equals 225 plus 4 minus 129. Look how nice that one is. Thank you, Mrs. Cox, for making that so nice. Probably made a silly error on the last one. All right, so we want it to equal to 1. Do you guys see it's not a circle because of the 4 and the 25? Not a circle. So we want it equal to 1, so we're going to divide every single thing by 100. And we reduce. So what this becomes is x minus 1 squared over what? 25, because the 4 over 100 reduces to 1 over 25. And then we have y plus 3 squared over 4 equals 1. So this one is clearly an ellipse, right? There's a plus in between. You can tell what the center is. It's 1 comma negative 3. Would it be a vertical or horizontal ellipse?
Horizontal.
It'd be a horizontal because you go out further along the x's, right? Underneath the x, you have 25. That's the bigger number, right? So we got that. All right, number 4. Can you tell what number 4 is going to be?
parabola on the side.
Yeah, it's a parabola. All right, so number 4. So we have y squared minus 3x minus 8y plus 10 equals 0. So this time we don't have x's and y's, right? We don't have like x squared and y squared. We just have y squared. So again, we're going to get our y's together, but everything else I'm going to get to the other side. So whatever I had squared, I'm going to get those together. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the 3x and subtract the 10 over. Okay, and we complete the square just on this number right here. So when I divide it by 2 and I square it, I get 4 squared, which is 16. So I'm going to add that to the other side. So I've added that to both sides. James. So I get y minus 4 squared equals 3x plus 6. So I always say for the parabola, you always have a little bit of flair on each side. You have the square, you got the 4p, you got a lot going on, right? So what we do is we write this as y minus 4 squared equals, and we actually pull out the 3. So that way you can tell that the center, or not the center, the vertex, right, for a parabola is going to be negative 2 comma 4. So this is parabola. Okay, so you think you can handle those? I'll try to make them nice. I won't give you 188 over 5 as one of your denominators. I'll try harder. All right. So go ahead and